Greetings and welcome back to Monster Legends. Alright, it's Saturday. We have a bunch of things to talk about. In regards to the race, my team got to about lap 8 and like 2/3. We got off to a very slow start, unfortunately, and that kind of hampered us. Did good in the end, but not quite good enough. But we do have a lot of new things up here, and let's start with the maze. Alright, we have the Duel and Honor maze here. And I don't know where that first guy comes from, Callisto. I mean, I guess he's like, is he a knight? I'm not really sure about that, but he's an epic, so which means he's 2 rarities behind, so who cares, right? And then we have Pansis here. He is also an epic. I believe he's Quixote's squire, but yeah, he's 2 rarities behind, so who cares? And then we have Quixote, who's actually very good. He's also a rarity behind, but he's very good. He can do a lot of damage. He can also do a lot of damage to his own team if he fails one of his own skills, which possesses him and gives him triple damage. If he resists the possession, it's good. If he doesn't, well, it's not so good then. So he's kind of a wild card. But when he's attacking the bad guys, he actually does a lot of damage. So if you have him in the right circumstance, he could definitely be very good. But of course, that's not why we're here. No, we're here because of Erder. I mean, I think this is a name that could probably have used one more character. Just me. I think another character in there could have been good. Anyway, this is a new mythic. It's kind of a tank with all kinds of good things. We're going to talk about her in detail when we talk about the other new mythic. And it is 2 ladies this time, so that's actually kind of unique to the mythics, isn't it? This is a maze. You know what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do the gathering here, right? You gather your coins to get a maximum of 30 inside of a cycle. We'll talk about a cycle in a minute. Then you're also going to gather food. You're also going to feed your creatures. You're going to do PvP fights. You're going to do hatching, and you're going to do breeding. So this is all you can gather inside of a 4-hour window. Once that window expires, you can go on and do it again. Which means if you get 30 of those maze coins from gathering money, you're not going to get any more until the next cycle begins. But you do want to make sure you can hit all those little pieces over here to get as much as possible, because you do need as many as possible. Another thing, of course, is that, it's not showing now because I cleaned it out. And that, of course, we're just going to pop out for a moment because it is a special day, and we're going to bypass this and Coins Dungeon! Yes, you notice I've done some completing in the meantime. We'll talk about those other things. Coins Dungeon is a dungeon. You got to go through it. You complete it. You'll get an extra 1,000 coins. So obviously, I've done that already. All right, let's go back into the maze. All right, and of course, since we have the Coins Dungeon today, since it began yesterday, that means that the limited path is going to open tomorrow, and it's going to be 2 days. I don't know how much it's actually going to be. My best guess would be 4,600, 4,700, something like that. I think I'm in pretty good position for that. You just have to make sure, again, you go back in on a regular basis and you collect all your coins. I may have missed a couple, but I have high hopes of being able to get... Where is she? Oh, I got to click on this one, don't I? Hold on a minute. I was clicking on the little figure over there. Erder. Yeah, that's a name that definitely needs another character, The thing about it is you want to get the limited path, because that is the way you get the mythic. Now, once you've done that, then you can keep collecting so that when you reach the 30% discount, which occurs when there's 1 day and 18 hours left in the event, you can hopefully get as many cells as you can. You can't really see the cells at the moment. So you go down Callisto's path until you can open up Pansis, and you go down Pansis' path until you can open up Quixote, and then you wouldn't have to go far down Quixote's path before you can open up Erder. And then you got Erder open, and then you just collect as many cells as you possibly can for the future, right? Make sure you're saving them up. I hope nobody wasted any with that discount yesterday. I think I gave fair warning on that in the previous video. All right, so that is going to be running for another 5 days, 11 hours, and 19 minutes at the time of recording. So that is a new mythic. We also have, I'm going to go in order here. We also have another 72-hour challenge. So let's look at this one. Let's face it, I'm going up the middle. I think anybody who would look at this combination here would probably go up the middle. I don't know why it is that Himas is over there on the right. I have no idea. I don't have the fellow in the middle, but I mean, I don't have him, and he's ranked up. So obviously I'm going to go after him. Now, I haven't had a lot of success here, as you can see, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's the last one. No, it would not surprise. I would actually be kind of surprised if it wasn't the last one. However, at the moment, the amount of coins is not ridiculous. As a matter of fact, if we're successful in our PvP victories, I expect to come back here. Anyway, that's running for another day, more than a day and a half, so I'm going to get that guy, even if I have to buy the last card. I don't know anything about him, but like I just said, I don't have him, and he's ranked up once, so why wouldn't I go for him, right? All right, so let's start looking down here because we want to look at the event that I talked about in the previous video. And they bury these. I just don't know why they do this. Why don't they put the events at the top? It just doesn't make any sense to me. All right, this is KRALIK. All right, we have the details now, of course, and we've had them since yesterday. So we're going to be breeding Metalhead and Lord Maltus, but you can substitute Articus in for Metalhead and Galante in for Lord Maltus. Breeding them and getting a success, you will get either Positron, Makugan, or Wangzhou. The real success there is Wangzhou. Yes, that is the success. That is the definition of success. You get Wangzhou. I know I would like to get it. Unfortunately, I've been getting epics and rares, and I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Anyway, if you do successfully get one of those three, you will get a quest key dungeon for a survival dungeon. I should say a quest key for a survival dungeon. And that will open up, hold on a second, when is that? Monday the 13th. All right, so we still have a little bit of time. We have about a day and a half left to get this going. I might take one or two more shots at it, but I am running out of time. And I do not like impacting my ability to generate coins for the maze, too. You know, this... Even if we get in there, I'm very curious as to how this is going to work out. Now, this time, if you get the key from the successful breeding, you're going to get 20 KRALIK cells, right? So how many are in the survival dungeon? Now, it used to be when there were legendaries, they would give you, I think, 10 or something, but then there's 50 in the dungeon. No, it was 15. It was 15. I remember that. So you'd come out of the survival dungeon with 50, so you would have 65 unless you got the combination a second time, right? You got one of the other ones and you got another 15, then you could breed. But the thing is that I do believe you need 100 cells of the individual in order to craft him. And you can't trade. You can't trade mythic cells. So how many are in the survival dungeon? Do they expect you to do this combination more than once for different creatures? Because otherwise, how are you going to get the extra cells? I'm not really sure about that. It's kind of an interest. I can't wait to see how it works out, but I doubt that I'm going to get a look inside that dungeon because, like I said, I've been getting epics and rares, and I don't think I'm alone in that. But anyway, this is going to be going for another day and a half about at the time of recording, and the survival dungeon opens on Monday, and I have no idea how difficult what's going to be in there is. Usually it is kind of tricky, but if you want a mechanical rabbit, you're just going to have to do that. All right, so that's that going. Now we do have something else that's new. Where is it? Okay, this is Rara Avis. Okay, this is a new one of those. Collect the items, and you can see I just need one compass and I'm done. Basically, they were doing it in Monsterwood, and we kind of just passed the tokens dungeon on the way through there, if you remember. So that is basically you collect the tokens, and in 5 days and 12 hours, there will be a progressive island open up. And it's probably going to be expensive. Now, do you want this one? I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. This one is a magical attacker who does have some extra turning. I can see some of the skills from the tiers. I can't tell you what the first initial skills are going to be, and I think that's going to be a big deal. And I think this is an opportunity to talk about our two new mythics, right? So since this individual is up on the screen, why don't we talk about her first? So this is Rara Avis. And she is an attacker. As a matter of fact, I'm going to say there's something about these two individuals. One, they're both ladies, of course. Two, they're both very high in strength. So just keep an eye on that. They're going to both do a lot of damage. All right, now if we look at the stats here, the life is actually really not good at all. But I guess we're going with glass cannon here because she's got a good power. She's also got a really good speed as well. Again, I think she's actually faster than some of the denials, which is, I don't know what the thought process in this stuff is. I'm guessing they figure you're not going to put speed on her anyway, so she has to be speedy. I don't know. It just seems different from what they were doing with the other legendaries, right? As I mentioned, power, 5,800. That is pretty darn strong there. I went looking around, and unless it was one of the paid individuals, which it probably was, there isn't many that are really strong in terms of the that kind of power. And then, of course, we have speed. The speed is very good. Now, the evolving trait starts with a very interesting one right there, and that is curse immunity. Okay, that's specific, but then curses are really ugly, so it's kind of nice to be immune to that. At rank 1, she will get blindness immunity, which can also be very good. That includes total blind, by the way. And at basically rank 3, she gets a self-cast for true vision, which of course means she's not going to miss, which is always a good thing for your attacker, right? Now, in terms of her skills, I can't see what her initial skills are, and that might end up being an issue, so we're going to talk about this. All right, I am going to go in a mixed up order here. We're going to start with tier 2. All right, I'm looking at Fairy Assault. Deals low magic damage to one enemy, applies magic weakness to one enemy, gets an extra turn. I think that's what you're going to start with. No matter what else you do, I'm pretty sure you're going to start with that one, because if you can give one of your enemies nature weakness, even if you intend to do like a group attack, that's just really kind of useful. But if you want to throw that extra little flavor in there, you can go to tier 3, and that's Ava's Dash. Deals moderate magic damage to one enemy, gives extra turn to itself. All right, so she's got 2 extra turners here, right? The first one's low damage, but it puts magic weakness on. The next one does moderate damage, kind of high moderate damage, 35. So with her strength and magic weakness, that will really hurt somebody. Now, from this point on, you could do a couple of things. You could go back to tier 2 and use Wing Slash, which deals heavy magic damage to one enemy, applies bleeding. So I don't even know at that point if they're going to need bleeding because they might be dead, you know? But that is going to be some serious stuff. No legendary is going to survive that. A mythic might survive that. No legendary is going to survive that. But the thing is, she's also got some extra stuff too. She's got a couple of group attacks. The one in tier 1, the first one, is actually deals low magic damage to all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies. That's pretty good right there. Then you also have another one in tier 3, which deals moderate special damage to all enemies, right? That one isn't going to be something that's going to be helped by the magic weakness. The only other one she's got left here, of course, is in tier 1, and that's a damage boost and precision. It's not something that I would take, no. Now here's my question in terms of the initial skills. Does she have a low damage, 0 cooldown, extra turn? If she does, then that means you could probably just make an extra turner out of her. I mean, really, you could just do that because she'd have to have the 0 cooldown to get her attacks back. Because the other extra turners over here, if you'll notice, they're 3-round cooldowns. So if she does those and does something else, she might be in a position where she's going to burn herself out. Like the way I use my Cane is that he throws everything at one time, and because of his cooldowns, he can't do anything until the round after. In other words, the next round, he's going to have to charge because he doesn't have anything that he can use because of his cooldowns. He used everything in the first round. If she's got that, the ability to get back the extra turning commands with a 0 cooldown extra turn, she could be devastating. She's already very good, but she could be devastating at that point. So you'd really have to see what those first skills are going to have. But even then, if you just look at what's right here, you could put a serious damage dealer together, especially with her strength. Very, very interesting, very good one. Somebody you're probably going to want to start saving gems for. And while we're talking about mythics, why don't we talk about Erder Yeah, because that's what I'm going to call her. What she is, of course, is she's a damage dealer who can taunt and kind of tank to a degree. Now, if we look at her stats up here, her life is actually a lot better than the previous mythic we just looked at. And the power is actually pretty darn good, too. It's not really very far off. The other one was just over 5,800. Well, she's 5,775, which is pretty darn good, really. Now, her speed isn't as good, but of course, we're still talking about mythics, which means she runs circles around legendaries, right? In terms of her trait, she starts with taunt, just like Armor Claw. So it's just a regular taunt, but it's in the trait, so single target attacks are going to go to her. She has a couple of skills to handle that kind of thing, too. Now, if you want to play her as a damage dealer, you absolutely can do that, because she's got a pretty cool selection of skills. Pretty cool indeed. All right, so why don't we just look at these for a minute. I'm actually going to go down the line because you're probably just going to figure out what you're going to put together for her. You know, do you want her to be a damage dealer? She can do that. She's got the strength. Do you want her to be like tanky with some damage? She's got the life. She's got the taunt. She can do that too. All right, I'm going to go down the line. All right, Tier 1, Judgment. Deals moderate thunder damage to all enemies and shock to all enemies. That's a 35 damage. That's a pretty good place to start. 2-round cooldown. All right, and then we have the next one, Holy Aura. Now, I'm not sure if there's a typo or there's a misprint going on here, but I'm just going to read this. Applies a 50% life shield to itself. Itself absorbs 50% of damage received. Now, is that a typo, or is it saying that she has a life shield and then she has a damage absorbing shield, you know, like the regular shield? They are separate things, so I'm not sure if this is saying that she gets both of them, because they are kind of separate from each other. So yeah, I don't really know how to read that one. But even if it's just a 50% life shield, it's definitely going to help with the tanking situation, right? All right, moving on to Tier 2. Beast Slayer blocks all damage except special element to itself, gives an extra turn. That is very useful, especially if you're doing tanking. I mean, only special damage is going to get through. If you look at the damage of most of the mythics, most of them have elemental damage. They don't really have a lot of special damage, so this is actually kind of useful, especially if you're going to be doing the taunting of single target attacks. All right, and then of course in Tier 2 we have Mount goes first, deals heavy physical damage to one enemy, applies bleed to one enemy, applies a 25% life shield to itself. So that's a good all-around one right there. It's a little heavy in the cost, but then again, you know, lots of stamina for these individuals, right? So that's going to do really good damage, physical damage too. Kind of interesting. We don't get many individuals who do physical damage at that point, right? And bleeding, of course, and then a little extra protection for herself. So that's kind of good. Moving on to Tier 3, we have Lance Thrust. Deals moderate special damage to all enemies, applies bleed to all enemies. All right, so that's pretty good damage. It's just short of high damage, right? So it's high moderate damage. So especially with her power, that's going to do a lot of damage. It's going to leave them bleeding. If you use that and the one from Tier 1 that does shock damage, well, she could be doing a lot of damage, and she could be doing 2 torture effects to everybody. So that's what I mean. She could actually be a damage dealer if you wanted that. And speaking of that, at the bottom you have Retribution. Applies double damage to itself, applies a damage mirror to itself. Now, normally I wouldn't be too interested in that situation there. You know, the double damage, because she has to wait around. But if she's going to drop a damage shield on herself, and you see somebody is going to be doing single target attacks, like for instance, if you see a Birdgar on the other side, well, he only has single target attacks. Putting a damage mirror on yourself is a pretty good idea, because he's going to get his hits coming back at him, right? So that is actually a skill you might want to consider, whether you're going to be tanking or you're going to be doing damage. So she's got a bunch of good skills here. You could put together either a tank or a damage dealer, you know, and it kind of works given the life and the power, whichever. I think both of these are definite improvements on the original models, shall we say. And they do seem to be getting better over time. So you're going to want to do your best to actually get them. This one is actually going to be the tricky one. It's probably going to be expensive. So when the progressive island opens up, I would advise you to try to have as many gems as you possibly could. Going through those dungeons, yeah, is always a good idea. Anyway, I think that is about it. There's only one other thing that I believe I want to do. And, oh, by the way, we're not going to be having war, as you can see down here. Unfortunately, we are in the Legendary League, which means we have to wait a day and 5 hours before matchmaking even begins. Maybe by Wednesday. Sorry about that. Not much I can do about that, though. All right. And I think there was one other thing. Oh, yes, the breeding. And you can see I have somebody sitting over there right now. But I don't have anywhere to put them because, yeah, we have this going on. I'm going to have to start gemming these spots open because I really do need to keep going with the hatching and the breeding for the maze. But there, of course, one thing I didn't mention is when you do the breeding, you will also get a scroll for the Quest Days dungeon. See, this one here was the tokens dungeon. I finished that already. And the maze dungeon, I finished that already. All right, so let's just take a quick look in here. I think I have 3 scrolls left. I only did one of them. So, you know the way it works. You do the encounters for the scrolls, and you guys don't stand a chance. I really hate when they do that. I put a team in there, and then they change them out. I really hate that. So you and you. There we go. See, next time I go in there, they're just going to change them out again. Say, no, you really want to use these. No, I want to use these. Mostly I want to use her. Okay, and then again, you guys need a night of fun, don't you? Okay, and you know what? Have some extra stuff. Have some extra stuff. Okay, and yeah, we'll have some cursing too. And then some fun dungeons. And you know what? This is over. Oh, you're going to... Boom. And then, of course, when you get to the wheel looks like this. And you're going to get cells for these quest individuals. They might be very useful to you. They may not be useful at all. If you get the scroll, you lose. It means you have to do another encounter and you don't get anything from this. All right, Madam Fusion. I would have actually preferred a couple of others there that I don't have. But you never know, right? Anyway, I got 2 more. I don't see any sense in going through them again because there is something else I want to do. I think it was 2 weeks ago that I did this, and it didn't work out. And then later that day, it worked out great. Yeah, we're going to open a whole bunch of chests. I think the gold was part... I forget where I got the gold. No, you know what it was? It might have been on the Legends Pass. I think that's where it was. I've had that one for a while, though. Anyway, let's see how many diamonds I can get from the bronze, right? Okay. All right. Well, I already see a good gold right there. Well, exhausting mask. Exhausting mask is very good. Very good indeed. All right. Let's see. All right. Well, charging banner. Charging banners are very good. Charging banners are very good. Okay. So I already got two golds, which is good. And I see another gold coming up. And actually, there's 2 more. Is this one? Started around any ally below... Okay, that's good. Healing, that's good. Healing if they go drop... mind you, you have to be under 25%, which is, you know, that's kind of... But, you know, for something like that for a mythic, I guess the amount of money... pardon me, the amount of health is kind of insignificant to a mythic, right? I don't see any purples, which is a darn shame. Oh, okay, I think that's where we started, right? Either that or I have a second exhausting mask. And I think if I had a second exhausting mask, it would just put a 2 there. All right, so that worked out. I got 2 of those. Let's see, 11 of these. Okay, 10. Okay, I got another gold. Oh, that's another good one. Removing stamina, always a wonderful thing. Okay, so that's good. And I have 1 gold, so let's see what this is. Okay, yeah, I don't like any of the swords. I really don't, because they just don't work. In my opinion, anybody who actually stuns or freezes never seems to have the sword slot, you know? So, anyway, but still, that is 4 golds that I got today. No diamonds, but I did get 4 golds. Okay, so the only thing that we have left at this point is PvP. All right, so let's get going because I do want to do some winning here because I want to do a 72-hour spin. Okay, first of all, everybody is unknown, and second of all, why is Mephisto only 35? That's come on. I think he's worth the food. Seriously. All right, are these computer-generated ones or something? Because why is everybody unknown? I don't know. I guess it's unknown. All right, so let's get going because I got some teams here. The only thing I will say about the teams is apparently a lot of people wanted to see Armor Claw. Yeah, but the thing about it is, remember, as soon as I pick somebody, everybody else is, not going to get it. So you might want to have like this guy or this guy because otherwise you get eliminated immediately upon somebody else choosing it. All right, so let's begin. All right, for this first individual, I have no idea how to pronounce the first part of this name. It's a three-parter. The first one I'm just going to spell, okay? I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, our first team was suggested by YNOJ Ray123. And Ray123 wanted to see. And this one was actually, I think, the best use of this individual, so it's the reason I chose it. And that's going to be Hornet. And then we're going to go with, where's Darkness? And this is going to be... She's way down here. I don't know why she's hiding all the way down here. You know you're in trouble when you're hiding under Inky. And of course this is Hella. And now we have the winner of... Yeah, he's right there. We have the winner of Eric here. So, of course, the situation here is these two individuals will dodge group attacks. And in terms of the single target attacks, Armor Claw will pick them up. So, yeah, it's a good use right there. It's a good use. And you can see I actually put relics on him. And those are up to 30. So those are going to be doing the job. All right, so we have kind of a strong team. Do we want to do this? I'm looking at this team over here. It may be a bit too strong. I may be asking too much. Let's just do it anyway. Probably a mistake. All right, damage on... Okay. I don't know why General Teddy's has damage on her. Oh, wow, you're going first. Oh, that sucks for you guys, doesn't it? All right, remove total life and total blind and guard down. Who do I want to take the life from? Let's face it, the dude in the front is the most dangerous. I take that back. There's a healer in the back. So you die. What did you just do? Because it sounded like you used the stamina devours, but I didn't see Armor Claw lose his stamina. The other two would just be flat out missed, though. All right, Dark Weakness with Dark Submission. And a corpse in the top. All right, let's think. Can I just kill somebody with this Minor Blind and Shock? He's the one I'm concerned about because he's a damage dealer. But it's kind of over. I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like the General Teddy's used Stamina Devours, and it would have missed the other two, but it should have taken Armor Claw's stamina away, right? I mean, I don't understand. Did she do something else? It sounded like Stamina Devours, but then again, they messed up the sound in this game so badly, it's hard to tell. Okay, that's good. More of that, and we can do a spin for that guy. I am convinced it'll be the last one, though. I honestly am convinced he will be the last one. Whether I get him or not, that's the question. All right, so let's move on to our next team. Our second team today was suggested by Azan Dolha. And Azan wanted to see, this is actually an interesting team, and it also marks the appearance of somebody for the first time. All right, let's actually two for the first time in PvP. All right, let's begin over in fire, and this is going to be... We got Hedwig. Then, appearing for the first time, water, we have... Aqua. And also appearing for the first time over in water, and I gave him a name, by the way, and you can see I didn't really go crazy with the runes on him because I don't really like him, but I did give him something. This is Joseph. I'm sure you can figure out who I named him after, right? Now, Joseph doesn't have a lot of speed, so I'm not really sure how this is going to work out. Okay, what do we got here? Hedwig is 105. Aqua is 100, but he's also a mythic. The other guy is 110, though. Yeah, I'm not going to do the one on the left. The one at the middle is just asking for... The other one would be too easy, so let's just see. I want to find something challenging but not death, you know? And I'm not seeing that. I think these are all too easy. Let's try. Ooh. All right, I'm going to do the one on the left, and we're going to see how that works out. All right, so let's go. All right, let's think. Of course, the Wasper is going to be missed, and Stunning is... Oh, we can't do anything about him down here. Oh, wait a minute. That's Mega Freeze to 1. Didn't I see... Remove Stamina! That's good. All right, we're not going to freeze the Cryotin, but if we take his Stamina away, he can't use the group Mega Freeze, right? All right, so we're going to do that. All right, let's see. What do we have here? Oh, wrong one. This one first to give you Drowning, and then we're going to give you Bleed and Quicksands. Of course, we missed the Wasper each time. Oh, that was really way too smart. That was way too smart. Oh, that's a big problem right there. Stamina Appropriation. Okay, you could probably use some Nightmares and some Poison. Oh, you're getting them up there too now, are you? Alright, let's see. Devastating Barrage. Stun. Well, one of them is immune, but he's probably dead next round, right? So... Okay, stop doing that. Let's see. I really do want to make sure you're dead. Okay. Oh, wow. You have Reaper on. Oh, that's right. You have Reaper on. Ah, no stamina. Take some bleeding up here. Okay, you. Very much you. Trusty Owl. Do you have... I don't think you have anything... Removes negative status effects. And precision. I have to use that one because he's going to die. Because he had Reaper on. Okay, leave Aqua alone. Okay, and you need a charge too. Alright, say Prisoner of Ice. I think you're dead in the front, so Mega Freeze. Okay, and can we just get rid of you? You got a lot of problems down there, don't you? Alright, and then we'll just do this. Alright, we're just gonna do some healing. That's what we're gonna do, because we have problems. Yeah, that 30% for Aqua was actually quite a lot. Alright, Stamina. And, okay, why don't we just do this? Smokescreen! Insane fire damage! I'm pretty sure you're dead. Here, just take the stamina away. Boom. Okay, it took a while, but it was a decent combo. Alright. And spin. Okay, more of those, although I don't mind getting the maze coins. Alright, let's kick in there with the third team for today. Our third team was suggested by Yandel Carrillo. And Yandel Carrillo gave me 5 teams, and I chose this one with somebody making their appearance for the first time as a 115. Of course, that is Alex. Next, we have over in Earth, we're going with, where is Geb? And finally, over in Nature, we have once again, he's down here somewhere. There he is. Seymour. All right, so let's see what we have. I'd love to find an extra turner. Do I want to do that team on the over there? Let's think about this. Alex is 115. Geb, I don't know. I think that might be a little OP. Why don't we just run a little bit again? I want to find something maybe a little bit harder. That team on the left is obviously a ploy. Yeah, don't think I want to do that team on the right. No. I think the one at the middle would be kind of too easy, especially with an extra turner there. So we'll try one more time. Not doing the team up the middle. That is, oh man. Oh, and he's 110 too. Well, you know, that will all be going to Geb. All right, I know I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose, but I'm going to risk it. We're going to do the team on the right. But I know I'm going to lose because I got a 110 control mythic over there. How much speed do you have? Are you kidding me? You have a 110 and you didn't put anything on. Why is everybody unknown? Is there like a networking problem going on or something like that? I don't know why everybody is unknown. Maybe they're trying to do something about names of teams or something like that, because we've all seen there's some really ugly names for some teams. Maybe they're coming up with a new filtering system or something. I don't know. All I do know is, yeah, we're going to have some trouble getting rid of that guy on top. How much health do you have? Okay, 84,000. It's a shame. Okay, it's a shame you don't actually have anything good up there. That's a good question. Why don't we double your health pool? Okay, and shock? Yeah, I mean, that's going to kill the Lord Maltus in the front. And then why don't we do some of this one here? Moderate damage. You're dead down there, right? And then evasion to himself. All right, and let's see. Boom on the head. Okay, you're unfortunately you got your cooldowns activated, but it doesn't matter because this is over. That would have been a much different fight if he had a whole bunch of speed on him. I mean, you get to the trouble where you get. I mean, basically, you had to pay for him. You know, let's say this straight. You had to pay for him, and you put him on your defense team, and you didn't put anything on him. I do not understand that mindset. What if you're not going to put stuff on him? Don't put him on your team, right? Okay, so let's go with our fourth and final team for today. Our fourth and final team was suggested by Shadow Wanderer, and Shadow Wanderer wanted to see. Let's see here for a second. This is actually interesting that these two individuals popped up because I noticed something. All right, let's start with Lance. I wasn't talking about this fellow, by the way, coming up. This is Light. I need to get down to... Why isn't anybody asking for her? I'll put all kinds of good stuff on her, but I need somebody to ask for. Where is... Of course, now everybody's going to ask for her. Where is... He's here somewhere. I'm pretty sure he's Light. Yeah, there he is, Croxonian Guard. And what did I name him? I didn't name him anything. That's what I didn't name him. Anyone got any suggestions? That's fine. And the final individual here is in Nature, and that's going to be Grakon. I noticed people wanted me to put the essence on Lance, but I happened to notice that, yeah, Grakon's got the that one too, so I mean, resurrecting a really dangerous denial a second time sounds like a really better idea. I don't know. See, the thing about it is, for me, Lance is never the first to die because, of course, he dodges group attacks. And at the moment, I don't have him enough to get the resurrection, so I don't really see the benefit of giving that to him. I do see the benefit of giving it to Grakhan, though. Just me. All right, so what do we have here? We have some good stuff. As long as Grakhan is going first, of course. Ooh. I'm looking over on this. I'm not going to do the one on the left over here. That's just way too much trouble. I'm wondering if I want to do this team with the Armor Claw, who's 110. Thing is, I think we would just shut him down since there doesn't seem to be any denial over there. Grakhan would just reset their cooldowns. He does have, if he has it, he's got a 0-0, doesn't he? Let's just see. Let's look around. We'll see what we can find. Somebody put Lotan in there, I see. All right. Unfortunately, nothing really strong. And that's Force a Loss, so we can check some more out. All right. Do I want to do this one over here? That one looks like a really terrible idea. Since I have no Mega Tank protection, so the other two don't look very interesting. One more try. Oh, that would have been, well, it wouldn't have been great, but I mean, put some food into them. I have to pick one of these. I'm guessing the team on the right. I doubt whether or not he's going. No, I didn't think so. Life? Why are you putting life and team life on? Oh, I don't understand. Should I do a video on people and what you're supposed to do with your ruins? Because come on, if this guy had all kinds of speed, this could have been a great team. But as it is, they're just really in deep trouble. Actually, well, none of them are immune to stun, so yeah, double stuns are very effective. Oh wow, you took his stamina away. Okay, that's kind of ugly. By the way, do we have? Here. Do we have any dragons? I don't see any dragons. I see you. You're very annoying. Okay, you're gonna do that, Dragon Slayer. Yeah, he's dodging that, by the way. And curse for everybody. Ow, you don't have a lot left, do you? All right, let's see. Double damage in time space. No thanks. Heavy damage, stamina leak to all enemies. Oh, wow, that one, yeah, absolutely. Okay, unfortunately, uh-oh, that's not good. Now that Grakhan has got his stamina back, he's, that could be bad. I don't suppose you want to charge. Ouch. Okay, that's not good. And everything suddenly went bad. I should have led with the cooldown activations, shouldn't I? Okay, it's up to you now. Yeah, that's bad. Okay, well, Uriel's Essence in this situation probably would have been very useful. Insane damage to light. Okay, well, it's just going to leave him and the other guy, though. Curse to all. I mean, he's got a more advanced version of the curse. And he's dead. Alright, sorry about that. I should have gone with the cooldown activation, but I figured, hey, look, none of them are immune to stun, which means that I can stun them. Yeah, the problem is that he lost his stamina in the meantime and he couldn't follow up. So always go with the cooldown activation. Alright, and that's it for today. Okay, so we have a way up here, we have a maze going, so collect coins any way you can. Remember, there is a coins dungeon open right now. It's worth about 1,000. It's worth exactly 1,000 coins. So you desperately want to go through that, if at all possible. At least as far as you can, right? And don't forget to collect the tokens for the upcoming Rara Avis event here. You notice I've already cleaned out Monster Wood, but you could go there. You can go to the tokens dungeon. All you need is 5 of each kind, and then of course a whole lot of gems when the time comes. And in terms of the breeding event, yeah, I mean, KRALIK, if you got the combination, then that's great. I mean, there are 3 great legendaries in the first place. And in terms of the survival dungeon, I really am curious as to how they're going to do that. I mean, it used to be there was 50 in there, and you'd get 15 from the combination, which means you'd usually have 65, so you'd have to trade cells with your teammates. But you can't trade mythic cells, and you need 100 to craft the creature. I mean, Ember isn't going to do it. So I wonder how many are actually in there. I mean, there would kind of have to be 80 in there, right? I mean, otherwise, it isn't going to work. Unless they have some other way you're going to be able to get the cells, but I haven't seen that. And I think that that's about it. We got the 72-hour challenge. Oh, that reminds me. I don't think we got enough, because I think I lost 2, didn't I? Hold on a minute. Oh, I can do it. I am going to get the rune. Watch. Oh, I got the chest. Okay, so I'll open that one later by myself, and I'll get another diamond, right? I mean, I'll probably end up getting him. It's just going to be the last one. It usually ends up being that way for me. I know I hear some people say, hey, I got it on the 3rd one. I'm like, yeah, that's just great for you, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, I think that is going to be it for now. So thank you very much for your attention. I really appreciate it. And play games because games are fun. See you.